Well, hello there. Obviously, we're getting used to the mask for our safety and for other people's safety as we try and get through what is going on in our world today. And obviously, because of that, we're doing our first audio for our Citizens Academy. Normally, we do a Saturday 3-hour, 4-hour presentation. And we're going to try and get this through in about an hour. So we're going to do the best we can. These are trying times. Hopefully you'll bear with us as we do this for kind of the initial try at this. So what we'll be talking about. This department is a small department, but that's a good thing. I think it really brings that family concept into this department. And you'll kind of hopefully get a feeling of that through the presentations that we have today. Today our presentations, we're going to talk about our new canine pooch, and we're going to have Canine Officer John Fishbeck is going to introduce our new canine officer, and very, very proud of that, and very, very proud of John Fishbeck. He really did a lot of the work on getting that through. So that's something we have new to our community, and like I said, doing very well. We're also going to introduce our records. A lot of people don't even understand what they do and how busy they are, but we want to show you how important they are and what we do. Records is always kind of sitting in the back, and they're probably uncomfortable being in front of the camera, as we all are at times, but I think it's very important that you get exposed and introduced to our records personnel. We're also going to have some footage with our drone. We have a drone program here in conjunction with emergency management and our fire department. Its purpose is to make sure that we have the ability to find or locate missing people, maybe in a forest area or something to that effect. And who knows what the future is for drones, but I think it's unlimited of what we do with drones. It's just a matter of, thinking out of the box and ways we can use the drone. And so we've stepped into that arena. We're going to do a tour of the department. Captain Nick Almquist is going to do a tour of the department for you. You can kind of see that we have a range in this building, which is unusual, but it's fantastic to have a range here. So when needed, you can go down and practice and train with firearms and use of force issues. And then later on, I'll conclude with some of our philosophy in this department, some of the things that I'm bringing to the department, and how I believe we should be policing in this 21st century, and what's going on now, and how we have to evolve with the world around us and the community around us, with the community's input. And so that's kind of where we're going to go today, and hopefully you'll enjoy this, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Hi, I'm Dan Mudd. I'm a patrol sergeant, senior driving instructor. I've been a police officer for over 20 years with over 12 years here at the City of Snoqualmie.
I'm Hakeem. I just recently got hired on with the department. I'm waiting to go to the academy.
Hi, Officer Ridout here with the Snoqualmie Police Department. Been with the department for 5 years now. Currently assigned to patrol in North Bend. I also am a EVOC instructor and field training officer, training new and entry-level recruits that come from the academy, and lateral officers as well. Love working and being in the valley.
Corporal Dravling, Snoqualmie Police Department, 21 years, always Snoqualmie.
Hello, welcome to the 2020 Citizens Academy. My name's Deanna and I've been here for over 9 years and I'm the administrative coordinator.
I'm Melinda Black, and I've been here almost a year. Before this, I did dispatch with Snoqualmie North Bend Police, and here in Records we do a lot of functions, including case filing, records requests, and concealed weapons permits.
And we answer many phone calls and take many emails.
Yeah, we are so grateful to serve this community.
Hello, my name is Captain Nick Almquist with the Snoqualmie Police Department, and I wanted to thank you for coming to watch our virtual Citizens Academy today. I'm going to be discussing with you the organizational structure of the police department. We have 29 employees that make up this structure. The chief of police is the department head. Then there's the captain, which is myself. Then we have 4 sergeants. We have specialty assignments, as well as the patrol officers. The patrol makes up four squads, 2 different sides, a day shift and a night shift. There's a sergeant plus 4 officers on both sides of the watch. Every 90 days they switch from days to nights. That way they get well-rounded to the environment, as well as getting to know the community on a different basis, and also the community gets to see different officers at different times of the year. Within the structure, we have the records division, and they handle all of the case management, all of the evidence, and all the concealed weapons permits that come through. We also have 2 detectives that work day shift. We have a school resource officer, Kim Stonebreaker, that works in the school, at the high school, the middle school, and Two Rivers School. When she's not in the school, she comes back to patrol and fills in different vacancies. And then we also have our police support officer that handles all the inmates that are in custody in the field, also court transports, as well as all the billing for our local jails and for our extended stay, which is Yakima. So that makes up our organizational structure. As you know, we also cater to North Bend for police services, and they have 8 officers that are assigned there, plus 1 records person that they pay for, as well as half-time for our police support officer. So that makes up our organizational structure, and I hope that was informative.
Officer Gall, patrol officer, been with Snoqualmie for 3 years. Officer Smith with Snoqualmie Police Department. I've been a patrol officer for 5.5 years.
Hey, I'm Christopher Weary with Snoqualmie PD. I'm a patrol officer, and I've been with the city for 6 years.
Officer Lanham, Snoqualmie PD.
All right, this segment we're going to do a virtual tour of the police department. So come along and I'll take you on a tour. This is the inner lobby that is open 24/7, and there's a phone here for people to call our dispatch center, which is Issaquah, and that way they can get a hold of a police officer any hour of the day or night. And then this is our inside lobby that under normal times, non-COVID times, is open. Right now it's closed during these times unless we need to bring somebody in to discuss something. So this is the inner lobby. We have bathrooms, we have an interview room over this way. And then this is an entrance to our training room, which is also open to the public normally we have scout troops, little gymnastic gals that come in and little guys that come in and do their little tumbles in here, as well as anyone else that wants to reserve the room. And that's just one of these. This room can be cleared out or used. We also use this for in-service training for the officers when we're talking more academic things. So this is a really good resource for the community. Coming into here, this is the records area. And this is the front counter area where people will come up to the window. And then this is one of our staff who you might have already met. This is Melinda Black. She handles all of our case management, as well as many, many other things. Back this way is where our evidence tech and our concealed weapons person works, Janelle Knight. And then we'll just kind of scoot back this way. This is the administrative side of the building. This is the chief's office. This is a conference room that we use for internal meetings and different administrative type things. This is Deanna Mihelich's office. She's the executive assistant to the chief, and she runs this place, right?
No.
Yeah. Down in this side, this is the patrol side of the building, where we have an interview room that is set up with cameras and recording devices, where we do all different kinds of interviews. We have our break room. This is where most of our decisions are made over food, but we have a really good time in here too, just enjoying ourselves and having some food. This is what we call the patrol pod, and there's 2 officers assigned to every position. And remember, during the organizational structure discussion, we have an A side and a B side, so the 2 officers are assigned here on opposing shifts, so they're never having to share a cubicle. This is my office. This is the detectives' room when they're working. This is an area where we keep radar. This is our police support officer's office, as well as our SRO office, and they're busy. Larry's busy doing his jail billing. In the lower area, a lot of people don't think that there's a bottom level to this building, but it was very well designed, and we really appreciate this building because it is ergonomically done very well. So we do have a booking facility that is not a jail. It's just a temporary booking facility that we hold people that are for a minimum of or a maximum of 6 hours. So there's 2 cells that we have, and they're just, like I said, temporary holding facilities. This is also the breathalyzer that we use for when people get arrested for DUI and they come in here and have to blow in the machine. And then this is an area where a person can talk to their attorney if they want in privacy. We also have a gun range. And this is where most of the officers do, or we all do our qualifications here for the most part. A couple times a year. We also use the range at the bottom of the falls to do more guns and more our long rifle qualifications. So there's a 25-yard, 7-lane or 6-lane range, and this is a really big recruiting point when officers come and they find out that we have a range, and because officers can come and shoot whenever they want to be proficient in what they do. This is what's called the Sally Port, and the Sally Port is so that's the jail or the booking facility. Officers open this door, they drive behind the police department, they come in here, they shut the door when there's somebody in custody. That way they're in a secure environment, and then they take them into the booking area for processing. This is our evidence room. This is where if an officer has to book in different kinds of property, whether it be drugs or just things that they take from people for cases. They package it all up and then they put it into lockers that are locked, take the key, put it away, and then the evidence tech will come in and process it later and put it in this large vault right here that holds all of our evidence. This is the exercise room. This is where the officers come in and before shift or after shift, and they work out to stay healthy, and they just upgraded this. The union just upgraded all this, and they have their own locker room and showers and everything there, and then we have the ladies' locker room here. It's a very nice facility. And that pretty much concludes the tour. Okay, this is our latest platform of police cruiser that we went to. Normally we have the Tahoes that we have, but this is the new line of car that the city has chosen to go to. This is a 2020 Ford Interceptor police pursuit rated car. It's, as you can see, it's set up like all the other cars. It has a computer, it has radar, it has all the bells and whistles. This is the area where the inmates go and sit when they're going to go to court or they're going to be transported to jails. And then it holds all the equipment in the back for us, and it, as you can see, it's a really nice platform of car, and we've gotten a lot of comments from the community on the look of it, and the price is much lower than a Tahoe. So we're pretty excited to get our fleet all converted over.
Hi there, I'm Jay Skutzler, and I've been a police officer for 13 years.
I'm Larry Warren. I'm your police support officer with the Snoqualmie Police Department. I take care of your Snoqualmie inmates, handle transporting and managing the location of where the inmates are, along with the billing for the department. I've been here almost 20 plus years.
Sergeant Craig Miller, patrol.
Officer James K., patrol.
Hi, I'm Corporal Kim Stonebreaker with Snoqualmie Police Department. I've been with the department for 21 years, and I am now the school resource officer for the district, for the Snoqualmie Valley School District. I've been in this position for approximately 3 years. Love every minute of it. I work in tandem with administrators, counselors, mental health counselors, and teachers to help kids hopefully fulfill the best person that they can be. I come from a whole child perspective, and that means I work with kids based on their mental health, physical health, emotional, social health, etc. And so I consider every child different. They all go through different things, so their needs need to be addressed, not as a whole with everybody being the same, but as each person being different. I also am a certified level 1 trauma-informed care practitioner, which I think helps for training, education, so on and so forth, but really my heart is with these kids and this valley. Some kids have a different perception of what an SRO does, so I'm just going to give you a couple examples of what I do with the kids and the school district. So I mentioned that we work with anxiety and mental health, we also work with bullying, harassment, assaults, any personal safety, food insecurities that they might have, housing instability, juvenile justice, and unhealthy coping strategies. So the counselors, we meet several hours a week and we discuss the concerns that each one of us has pertaining to kids so that we can address those specific needs and provide resources that are appropriate for the child and the family. I'm not a counselor, but I do serve as one in the sense that I'm here to support, provide resources, answer any questions, mentor, and also provide resources for the families and talk with parents about next steps that might be helpful for them or any concerns that they might have. I also respond on and off campus to any misbehavior and crisis situations involving students. I'm a first responder for critical incidents and safety planning. I mentioned that I support kids with juvenile justice concerns. I find that kids don't quite understand the truth about the system, so I like to provide them with accurate statements and facts. I hope that I'm a positive role model. I try to be. What I don't do is I'm not a disciplinarian. I'm not used as an intimidation for the kids. We want the kids to feel comfortable coming to police and security. So for me, it doesn't matter how naughty the kid might be. I like having them in my office. I have food in there, hot chocolate, whatever they need. It gives us a chance to talk about, not on an impersonal level, but a personal level of their concerns and struggles. It doesn't matter to me how long they're in my office. And the counselors, teachers, and administrators all support these situations, and we also make sure the kids keep up on their schoolwork as best as we can. I'm in several advocacy and outreach groups. I work consistently with Child Protective Services. I'm on the Snoqualmie Valley School District Threat Assessment Team. So if we have a concern of a threat towards a school or student, administrator, teacher, we have a team here that go through a protocol. We determine if the threat is accurate or not, and we address it however it needs to be addressed. I'm also on the regional team for the state, so if another school has a situation where they need outside support, I go to that school and help with the threat assessment as well. I'm also involved with the Snoqualmie Valley Network, Trail Youth, local food banks, and other mental health organizations, Friends of Youth, just about every area out here. So I don't just work, say, at the school, like just walking around the halls and doing nothing. It's actually a very challenging job. I'm always busy, and I try to make myself available to everybody that needs support, and that includes the whole district. I feel very honored, and I'm proud to be here. I love the people I work with, and I couldn't ask for a better job.
Hi there, I'm Officer Austin Goodwin. I've been law enforcement for about 3 years.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Paul Graham. I've been in law enforcement for 31 years.
Officer Lanham, Snoqualmie PD.
Hi, my name is Officer Robinson. I've been with the Snoqualmie Police Department coming on 5 years now. I've really enjoyed the opportunities working in this small community has afforded me. If you see me out on the street, feel free to come up and talk. I'd be willing to talk to you about any concerns you might have. I look forward to seeing you out there.
Hi, I'm Officer John Fishbeck with the Snoqualmie Police Department, and I am the department's Canine Handler, and this is Canine Pooch. Canine Pooch is just about a 2-year-old yellow Labrador Retriever, and he's trained for single-purpose drug detection. That means he's trained to detect the odors of methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin. And he assists our department and helps out our community on various incidents, including traffic stops and search warrants, as well as, probably more importantly, community outreach and education. Canine Pooch and I have undergone about 200 hours of initial training, and we do about 20 hours a month of ongoing training to make sure that he's proficient in locating illegal drugs and staying on top of case law and making sure that he's happy and healthy and going to be working well for our community. This project originally came about when we were talking to different community members and trying to figure out what we as a police department can do to help out both in Snoqualmie and in North Bend, the two different communities that we serve. And when I was talking to people, overwhelmingly, there's a issue with substance abuse in the valley, and not necessarily all of it is criminal, but all of it affects everyone in the valley. Our canine program was founded with a 3-prong approach. Our first prong is community outreach and education, where we work with the community and try to figure out the problems like we've been talking about, substance abuse. It's a little harder with the COVID-19 pandemic to be able to work with the schools and try to build a bridge with trust through Canine Pooch with younger students and younger community members, but we've been trying to do our best with outreach at different locations, such as the community park, where we go out and we just show them, hey, look, Canine Pooch is friendly. Canine Pooch is approachable, and hey, look, I'm a police officer and I work with Canine Pooch and he thinks I'm all right. Our second prong is detection. There's a lot of times where we get into circumstances and incidents where we believe that there's substance abuse issues at play. And a big part of it is, how do you reach the people who don't want help? And a lot of times they've gone down the path so far that now it's visible to everyone in the community. Okay, we don't want to wait till they're rock bottom to offer resources. We don't want to wait till somebody is having the worst day of their life. Our third prong is suppression. We're working with other local law enforcement entities to include the Snoqualmie Tribal Police, the King County Sheriff's Office, and Washington State Patrol in finding out who is bringing drugs into the valley, who is dealing drugs to our community members, and holding them accountable. We've had a traffic stop a couple weeks ago on I-90 just outside the city, where about, I believe, 10 pounds of illegal drugs were located by Canine Pooch and the State Patrol partners. Canine Pooch and our canine unit have been made possible through partnerships with our local community and supporting law enforcement agencies. If you have any questions about Canine Pooch or about what our goals are or what the future looks like for our canine unit, and you see us out in the community, just wave us down. We'd be more than happy to stop and talk with you. And if you'd like to meet Canine Pooch, we'd be more than happy to bring him out. And I think you'll find that he is a happy and lovable little guy, and all he wants to do is help out this community.
Well, hello again. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to get to know some of our people at work here and make this place so great. And I thought I'd take an opportunity, as I mentioned before, to talk about kind of what our thoughts and philosophy is here at Snoqualmie Police Department. If you don't know it, we go by a motto, and it's no call too small. And even though it's a simple motto, it really does define what we do and the expectations are. And to me, that really does mean that we don't really put a value on when somebody calls needing an officer. We don't put a value on whether or not we believe that it's needed or not. We just respond to whatever their request or their need is. And I think that really does make a difference in our community and our citizens, and in feeling like we serve them, because we really do. I think you see in other departments that may not be the case, because some of them are busy, some of them don't have the resources that they can respond to every call. Sometimes we do respond to some that are funny, whether they be cleaning a gutter or fixing a garage door. But we go there and we try and listen to them, and at times the officer may just end up fixing a garage. So we do abide by that motto of no call too small, and I think that defines who we are. What that does is that overall we talk about the quality of life. And that really does make a difference in the quality of life of our citizens here. And actually the Valley, as Captain Almquist mentioned, I'm sure that, we serve the Valley, North Bend as well as Snoqualmie, and we police both communities the same. We believe that we're one department, and we look at it as one area, one valley that we serve the people, and that is our passion, and that's what we do. So we do want to make the citizens feel safe, and I think the No Call Too Small makes them feel that way, because we are responsive to whatever their requests are. We work with citizens. That's probably the most important thing, is the trust that you build when you work directly and interact with our community and our citizens. Whatever their concerns are, there's issues, we work to resolve the problem or find some kind of way to make them feel like they've been served. To resolve that issue and maintain the community is safe. And we all know that this community had been fortunate that we are considered one of the safest communities in Washington. And there's no doubt that that's a true reflection of the community and the citizens that live here, that let us know what's going on in their neighborhoods, and that way we can address those issues. So we don't take that lightly, that we think it's just something that we do. We know that the majority of that comes from the citizens' involvement in how we do our business. I also want to talk about learning organization. Learning organization is what I'd like to do in the future here, and we know the future is unknown, especially in this day and age, and how we're going about policing in the 21st century. And I think part of that is the way we train and the way we learn, and I think in order to do that, you have to become what I call a learning organization. And the way you do that, the way I envision that, is that we talk about sending people to training, and you send one officer to training, they go to training, they come back, and really they've educated themselves, but they haven't educated the department. And how does the department better utilize that training? So the requirement as we go forward will be to implement some type of training from that officer that went to training, coming back and doing some kind of department training, whether it be a memo or whether it be a formal training process. That way we as a department learn from that training by sending one person there, and we become a learning organization. Also, as part of that is that we take risks. In order to learn, you got to take risks. So I encourage that officers develop their interests, that they take risks on learning and bringing it forward, and we can talk about it. And in fact, that's how Officer John Fishbeck got Pooch. He took it upon himself. He had an interest and he went forward with it, and it was a great learning experience on the process of starting a new specialty unit, and it's been successful. So I think those are the kind of things I look for in the future, and then ultimately expand on that. Not just become a learning organization within, but also develop subject matter experts, so we become regionally experts in those areas, and whatever interest it may be, whether it's in ethics or tactics or whatever. I think that is something that I should support, and I do support and encourage. I talked about 21st century policing. Most of us know in the business that in 2015, President Obama had a task force, and it developed some pillars, 6 pillars that were identified to move police forward into the 21st century. Obviously, in 2015, we didn't know that 2020 was going to be as it is. And so we all know that we still have to learn, and we still have to formulate how we do business in the future. But even back then, one of the pillars, if I could refer here, was building trust. In 2015, we knew we had to build trust. Obviously, we're still working on that, and we have to find out ways that we can continue to do that. And I think the way we do that is that we interact with the community, and we show them that we're responsive to whatever their needs are, and that they can trust us, and that we'll do our job that we're required to do. Another one was community policing. We are heavily involved in community policing. We've had to slow it down because of the current issues with COVID, but that is part of who we are. I think that's part of all departments now, is that they realize that community involvement, community policing is really the key of how we do policing in the future, and really to be successful in a safe community. And the last thing that it's more internal is that, and that is a focus of mine, and that's officer safety and officer wellness. I think that nowadays there's a lot of strains and a lot of expectations and pressures and stress on officers, and it's my responsibility to make sure that I take care of ours internally, our officers, to make sure that they're prepared. And the reason is twofold. One of them is because I want healthy officers. I want healthy mentally and physically officers. And bottom line is they are better serve the public if they're in that kind of shape and that kind of mindset. They're better able to perform their duties in a proper manner. I know you've been introduced to many of our officers, and there's 3 of them I think that you didn't get to meet: Detective Jason Weiss, Officer Rick Carey, and Officer Sean Absher. Those 3 were unable to be here. Actually, Officer Rick Carey's deployed at this time and serving the country, and so he's obviously not in a position to introduce himself, but I want to make sure that we did identify those 3. And the last thing I want to talk about is, just in conclusion, is you know, this is a small town police department. We allow the community to be involved in this small town police department, and it allows us to serve this community the best that we can, and that one that you can be proud of. I hope that that's where we're at, is that you see us in that manner, that we're a small town, and that what we do makes you proud of who we are, and that we want you to be part of this department. And finally, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for allowing us to introduce ourselves. Thank you for allowing me to talk a little bit about who we are and what we think. And bottom line is, please stay safe out there. Thank you.